As soon as I entered the cockpit, I had the flight attendant fetch me a strong coffee, mixed with some oxygen, ready for an epic flight. The co-pilot caught a whiff of her booze scent, looking worried, thinking, can she even fly this plane like that? Whitaker was as calm as a cucumber, getting the plane onto the runway just in time. With 30 knots of wind, the plane was already shaking like a dancer before take. The co-pilot was panicking, while Whitaker was buzzed like he just had a Red Bull, not caring at all. As the plane took off, turbulence shook it like a maraca. Whitaker decided to veer off course, gunning it out of the clouds. The co-pilot was utterly baffled by Whitaker's moves, completely lost his ability to think for himself, doing whatever he was told. Passengers were in a panic, but once they saw the sunlight piercing through the clouds, Whitaker cranked up the thruster max, like charging toward home. The engines roared as they lifted everyone above the clouds. Passengers broke into applause, and Whitaker handed the plane over to the co-pilot. Then he poured 2 bottles of vodka into a drink bottle. This flight would last 52 minutes, and other than takeoff, Whitaker was in a dreamy sleep. Hang on a second. Looks like you just need a wake-up call. Charlie 227. Proceed to Central Support Flight Phase 30. Support Flight Phase 30. Charlie 227. Whoa, what? The elevator feels really tight. So, stop forcing it. Whitaker, tighten all the seat belts. Whitaker did not anticipate this was how he'd be woken up. The plane was plummeting at 30,000 feet. The co-pilots had totally lost control, and the hydraulic system was down. Whitaker struggled to stabilize the plane while contacting the tower. In this emergency, Whitaker prepared for the worst. To decelerate, he told the co-pilot to open any operable device. The moment they extended the flaps, within 2 seconds they were blown to bits. Passengers braced for impact as the flight attendant warned them. Under Whitaker's orders, the co-pilot quickly jettisoned the remaining fuel, but by then, the plane had already plummeted to 20,000 feet, making landing at an airport impossible. Whitaker used his experience to discern that this was caused by a malfunction of the wings level. So trying to level the plane was a pipe dream. Continuing this way would mean total disaster. So Whitaker instructed the co-pilot to switch to manual control, only to find that it had also failed. Now there was only a glimmer of hope with Whitaker. The co-pilot couldn't reach the switch, so Whitaker quickly called over the flight attendant. With the assistance of the flight attendant, Whitaker managed to maneuver the aircraft almost effortlessly. In contrast to the others who were petrified with fear, he appeared as calm as if he were playing a round of golf. He had the co-pilot retract the landing gear and ordered the plane to do a 180-degree backflip. Unable to free his hands from the stick, he gave throttle duty to the flight attendant. The co-pilot was baffled by Whitaker's actions. Throughout his entire life, he had never once heard that a passenger plane could fly backward. As Whitaker turned the control stick in one direction, the plane slowly began to spiral downward, at which point Whitaker quickly had the co-pilot retract the wings and unlock the controls. Already terrified, the passengers flipped upside down in a heightened state of fear. Oh, Jesus, this is wild. Whitaker's insane moves successfully halted the descent, but this couldn't last long. While he was looking for a place to land, his girlfriend unbuckled her seatbelt to help a falling child in the cabin. At that moment, the fuel pressure was too low, causing a breach on the left side. They hurriedly lifted the little boy back into his seat and buckled him in. One side's engine caught fire. Whitaker immediately ordered firefighting, but was shocked to see the other engine quickly catching fire too. Haven't stopped the speed. The slides are full, they're full. Tommy, we've lost the left side. Charlie 227, I see you're descending 1,000 meters. Tommy, speed's too much. We've lost the left side. Charlie 227, I see you're descending. Through the backflip, Whitaker somehow managed to turn the nosedive into level flight. Even though both engines were down, at least the plane's attitude was recovered, and in front of them was a clear area. This was about as perfect as it could get. Whitaker desperately tried to avoid the houses ahead, but still collided. Job reacted quickly, claiming a position of 14. The center has been reached, with USD 179 set for 10. It turns out that the plane didn't completely disintegrate. Most passengers survived. When Whitaker woke up again, he found himself in a hospital bed watching news footage. Whitaker was still unsure about how many had survived. Charlie came to check on the injured Whitaker as the union representative. The two were Navy buddies. Whitaker knew how skilled he was as a pilot. He thought if it were any other pilot, the outcome would have been a lizard dinner, but now, including the crew, 102 people were on board, with 96 of 2 flight attendants and 4 passengers perish. This was undoubtedly a miracle, and Whitaker was hailed a hero. However, for him, the unfortunate truth was that the deceased flight attendant was his girlfriend, who he had been with just last night. And just like that, they were worlds apart. The NTSB agents inquired about basic details and told Whitaker to focus on healing up. But this incident wasn't over for the captain. While recovering, Whitaker sneaked out to the hallway for a smoke. By chance, he met Nick, a junkie, and before leaving, Whitaker asked for Nick's address, saying he'd drop by when he got out. 3 days later, Whitaker returned to his father's farm, having not dared to return to the city house. Because it was swarmed by reporters, Whitaker thought it was time for a fresh start and cleared out all the alcohol at home.